Welcome. Feel free and breathe easy. Today, we are going to practice different grounding techniques. Feeling grounded is extremely beneficial for transcending feelings of panic or even full blown panic attacks, as well as those feelings of being overwhelmed and disconnected. It also works well to treat constant low level anxiety. The idea is to soak up the soothing earth energy and feel safe and secure in our home base, good old planet Earth. Doing this every day takes us out of the headspace for a while and away from a restless heart. It sinks us down to a neutral zone where we can better deal with our inner energies. Many people today feel very disconnected. You're not alone. Hours spent sitting at work, under artificial lights, in front of screens. These call for a natural antidote. Whenever you find yourself in a natural place, anytime during your day, wherever you sense a living, growing balance and calm, you can take a minute to practice grounding. If you feel anxiety beginning to stir, take 5 minutes to ground yourself. There are very basic and simple ways to do this, and we'll talk about a few variations. But let's first look at one full technique, based partly on Vipassana and Taoist techniques, and then we will go from there. If you can, then take this exercise outside and go barefoot. The more natural and basic, so much the better. If that is impossible for you, then make do with what you have around you. There is always something natural nearby, even if it is a bit of soil or a plant in a pot. With all of these techniques, you might want to start by shaking out your limbs and taking a few deep breaths. Count 5 breaths. Get your focus, and as we've already started practicing, become absorbed in your breathing. That in itself will start bringing you down to the ground. A simple way to ground your energy is to stand barefoot on a patch of grass or soil. The floor of your home will do in a pinch. Stand with your feet about shoulder width apart and point your toes slightly inwards, so your big toes are turned ever so slightly towards each other. Stand and breathe comfortably, and adjust your stance so your spine is nice and straight. Tip of the tongue against the roof of the mouth. Breathe through your nose. Bend your knees slightly so your legs are not locked up and stiff. Keep it fluid. Now, really make a connection with the ground underneath you. How do we connect? Simply pay close attention to the earth. Look at the ground. Try to smell it. Use all your senses, all your mind. Really notice the ground, here and now. Explore its nature. Pay very close attention to the feeling of the ground under the soles of your feet. Grip the soil gently with your toes, if you can. Imagine your feet are kissing the earth, hugging the planet. She enjoys it. Gently sway like a tree in small circles, and carefully notice how the weight moves from your heels to your toes, from left to right. Keep finding the center. find the roots. Keep exploring the way your own weight interacts with the ground. Sense the gravity. Keep finding your balance. Nice and slow. Feel your weight sink down, making your legs heavy. Your head and neck become lighter. When you are ready, rest in the center spot of balance and stand perfectly still, focusing all your attention on the ground below. Feel the energy flowing up and down your legs as you breathe deeply. As you inhale mindfully, imagine that you are growing roots into the ground beneath you. Feel the roots sink down, anchoring you. Feel your feet and ankles relax, balancing you and keeping you stuck to the ground, as if your feet are glued down. As you exhale, feel yourself sink into the ground a little. Allow your knees to bend a little bit, so you sink down about an inch or two. Inhaling again, feel those roots hold you and lift your whole body up again, as if something invisible is pulling on the crown of your head. Keep your chin slightly tucked in, so your eyes look downwards, not up at the sky. Keep going in this way for about 10 to 20 breaths. Every time you exhale, sink down. Every time you inhale, lift up just an inch or two. Keep finding the middle over and over again. Another helpful way to ground yourself is to allow more of your body surface to touch the ground once in a while. Sink down onto your haunches slowly and touch the ground with both your hands. Don't be afraid to make contact. Feel the ground, explore its textures, and feel your weight pressing down reassuringly into the earth. This is a safe place. We are adapted to live here. This is good and natural. Enjoy the sensations. Send a friendly greeting to the earth. Make friends again and again. Become totally mindful of the moment, and instead of thinking obsessively or allowing anxious feelings to take over, simply keep pointing all your attention deep into the ground, like an electrical wire that is earthed. Listen, feel, sense. Become interested in the ground, in living things, growing things. Stones, grass, trees, mountains. This is an excellent way to get out of your head for a while. Some people don't like to get their hands dirty or feel uncomfortable sitting or lying down on the bare earth. If you're like that, it might help to explore those feelings a little more if you're able to face them. Where do those feelings come from? Simply question them. No need to fight. Just become aware. If you want to go a bit further, you can sit on your knees or even lie down flat on the bare, naked earth. Allow some dirt on your hands, on your feet, your knees. It will wash off again. Don't be afraid. You can imagine soothing yin energy from Mother Earth flowing into you, holding you safe restoring your balance. If you like gardening, then make a point of grounding yourself while you tend the garden. The simple act of caring for living plants can do wonders to ground and balance your energy. Get your hands in the soil and touch the flowers and vegetables. Send them good vibes and see what happens. The same thing counts for walks in nature, what people call nature bathing these days. Touch the trees. Really look at the vegetation, the bugs. Listen to the bird call with all your rapt attention. Speak to nature. Allow it to enfold you in her arms. Allow her to caress you, scratch you, get under your nails. As you interact with nature, remind yourself that this is your true home ground. If you struggle with those techniques, you might find it better to hold something more neutral in your hands, like a natural stone, a smooth river pebble, a piece of wood, or a crystal, for example. Just as we did with the others, start by gathering your focus. Use your breathing to center yourself, and then sink into it. Explore the tactile sensations. Explore the texture of the object in your hands. Look at it. Sense it totally. Connect fully with the object and stay in that blissful present moment. The last grounding technique is one of my personal favorites. I call it Zen walking. It's very similar to the first exercise, but this time we are going to walk very, very slowly. Clasp your hands behind your back and get into a Zen-like state of mind. Imagine you are a Zen master, walking by the banks of a peaceful stream. Slowly begin to walk very deliberately. Gently raise one foot off the ground and maintaining your balance, exhale and put your heel down one step ahead. You only need a very small step. As you exhale, roll your weight onto your front foot and transfer all your balance there. As you do that, the other foot begins to roll up onto the toes. Now inhale and slowly lift the back foot off the ground. Bring it to the front as your lungs fill up. Again, exhale slowly and put that heel down. Now roll your weight over the whole length and breadth of your foot and transfer all your weight to the other side securely. Repeat that slow, balanced stepping, breathing slowly in a controlled and balanced way. As you transfer the weight, don't rush things. Keep your balance. Go as slow as you can. We are walking by the river. Keep going in this way, and when you have mastered it, stretch the steps to 2 breaths each. Then try to go for 3 breaths. Walking slowly and ponderously like this, concentrating totally on each tiny movement, on each tiny change of balance. This is a wonderful way to ground yourself. There are lots of other ways to accomplish the same thing. The more you become aware of your connection, the more often you will notice. Be mindful of grounding when you are cooking, eating, showering, when you sweep the floor, when you make tea. Any simple task is an opportunity to stay in the present moment, connected to Earth. May the wonderfully balancing energies of Mother Earth be your constant companion. Stay grounded, stay free, and have a wonderfully mindful day. See you again tomorrow for the next session.